Welcome to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm continuing my Stephen King series here with his 56th published work by my reckoning, titled Crouch End.
We are Telltale Books, bringing you the best in literature, literary topics, and graphic design and bookmaking.
If you want to support us, you can find us on Etsy and Pango, where you can find gently used, rare, and even top quality used books.
And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and maybe even that bell to be notified when new videos go live.
Thanks for joining us.
Crouch End is a novelette that Stephen King published in 1980, about the time that, right about the same month that The Long Walk was released to bookstores. And it appeared in New Tales of the Cthulhu Mythos, edited by Ramsey Campbell and published by Arkham House, which I do have a copy of, but I tried finding it. Right now I don't have much in the way of bookshelves. I mostly have stacks of books, and it's in one of the stacks, and I said to Emily, send help if you don't hear from me in trying to look for it. I just did a very brief glance over the outsides of the stacks and decided it wasn't worth it. That where I actually read it is in Nightmares and Dreamscapes. A big collection of short stories that Stephen King published. And Crouch End is on page 559. Yeah, it's an 800-page book that was released in 1993. So, and I've so far only done a couple stories from this book, because most of what's in this book comes after Skeleton Crew, and I haven't even done videos on all the Skeleton Crew stories. I've read them all, but I haven't uploaded videos for them all yet, because I'm keeping things in order of original publication. And of course, all these stories were originally published elsewhere before they were published in this. So this is 1993. There's a lot in here that I'm going to be going through in the future. Probably after next summer is when I'll get to the majority of it. Stephen King is, man, he's writing a whole lot. It's just amazing. I mean, even as old as he is now, he's still cranking stuff out. He just released a book with a children's book of Hansel and Gretel, and he just released on kind of an experimental thing. It's in the format of newspapers. It's called The End Times, and every month you're going to get a copy of The End Times. I've got mine as a PDF. Some people are actually getting them sent to them. I can't remember if I only subscribe to the PDF version or if I should be getting the paper version as well. But I got the PDF of the first issue, and each month they're going to send another issue for a year. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read that, and I'm going to report on it, tell you how good it is. But right now, Crouch End, okay? So Crouch End is not a part of any of Stephen King's series. This isn't this isn't related to The Stand. It isn't Dark Tower. It isn't related to The Shining. It's not related to the town that he always talks about. I forget the name of that. That one begins with a C also. Anybody thinking of reading this? Because now I'm going to get into my quick take on it. Anybody thinking of reading this, you should know that characters portrayed in the story do show some very negative attitudes towards certain groups of people in their language. This is not necessarily Stephen King saying that he thinks this way. King is the master of having very unlikable characters, and a quick way that he makes them unlikable is to make them sexist or racist or otherwise, just against you, whoever you may be. And so there's a lot of characters like that in his books. It doesn't reflect King's own beliefs or attitudes. It's reflecting the fact that there really are people like that in the world. Especially back in 1980, you had people that were very negative towards alternative lifestyles and would use a lot of very negative language. There were even people who thought it was funny to beat such people to death and leave them in the street. Okay, that stuff actually happened even more recently than 1980 in our world. So Stephen King having a couple of characters in a horror story that he writes that are anti this group or that group is not, he's just mirroring the reality around him, especially back in 1980. But if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, you might want to think twice about Crouch End. I've read a lot of other Stephen King stories that I don't see much that I would call racist or sexist. But this story has a really kind of a lot of it at the beginning of the story. Basic synopsis is you have a couple of American tourists that are going to Crouch End, which is a suburb of London, to visit a friend. It's a friend that, the tourists are husband and wife. The husband has been doing business with this guy over in Crouch End, even though he's in America, his business associate is in London. They've been doing business together, so they've been doing it through mail and phone. So he decides he wants to actually visit this person in real life. And so they travel to Crouch End. And they're in London, and they don't know how to get there. They get in a cab and ask the cab to take them there. They lost their friend's exact address, and the cabbie says, well, I'll drop you off in Crouch End. You can go to a phone booth, and phone booths had phone books, and you could look up people's phone number and address if they were listed. In this case, the cabbie suggests that in this case, the American calls his friend when they get to the phone booth and gets the correct address from his friend. So they get the correct address, and the guy goes out of the phone booth, and the cabbie is taken off. So the two of them are left stranded there, but they ask some directions from somebody and realize that it's only about a mile walk. Go down one street, take a turn, go down another street, take a turn, go down a little ways and you're there, that kind of thing. So they start walking. But as they walk, they pass some strange things. They pass these children that seem to be disabled, seem to be crippled, and their features have been distorted by whatever happened to them. And then they pass this fence with a gate, and the guy goes through the gate, and he comes running out totally scared to death by whatever he saw on the other side of that gate, and grabs his wife, and the two of them just go running. Now they're just running blindly. So of course, when they stop running, they have no clue where they are. And no clue how to get back on track to their friend's house. So they try to start backtracking, but things just keep getting weirder and weirder. And you have street names that have names like Cthulhu and Nyarlathotep in them. You can probably see where this is going, especially since it's from New Tales of the Cthulhu Mythos. Okay, this was supposed to be quick. I don't want to spoil it, so I don't want to go take the synopsis any further than that. The quick judgment on this story is it's not a top tale. This is not one of King's very best stories, but this is an excellent story, especially if you like the Cthulhu mythos. I would say Lovecraft did these better, but this is an enjoyable mythos story, and totally in line with what you would expect to get out of a Cthulhu mythos story by any author. And it is Stephen King, so it is well written. This isn't The Stand, this isn't The Long Walk, this isn't The Shining. It's not at that caliber, but it is, I mean, it's better than most authors' best work, let's put it that way. I do think Lovecraft did these better, though. So I do recommend it, but I'm not going to list this as a top tale. And I don't, I really didn't do a quick assessment of the story. That's okay, because it's not a super long video anyway. Suffer through this. I recommend that you read this for anybody who loves Stephen King, who loves cosmic horror, who loves H.P. Lovecraft, who loves the Cthulhu mythos. This story is for you. Anybody that just wants to try Cthulhu mythos, especially if you're somebody that's read some other stuff by King, but you've never read Lovecraft and you want to give a Cthulhu mythos a try and in a way that'll be safe for you, then definitely try this story. Nothing to lose. It's going to be an entertaining story. I don't know why anybody would hate this story who likes those kinds of things, except for, like I say, it's not as powerful as like Dunwich Horror or Call of Cthulhu. Those are actually, in my opinion, superior stories to this story by King. But good story. I recommend it. I think you should go out and read it. And if you have read it, or once you have read it, come back, leave your comments, leave your thoughts about this story in the comment section of this video. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want to know what you think, not just what I think. I want to know what you think about this. So leave your comments. Leave them for me and everybody else to read. And come on back. The next Stephen King coming your way. Number 57 is another Dark Tower story, The Way Station. Come on back for that and all the other Stephen King and everything else we do here on Telltale Books. Be sure to remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on your way out of this video, and you'll be seeing me